From the Sunmark Federal Credit Union Content Studio, this is the Sunmark 360 with Glenn Stacy.
Thank you very much for joining us on the Sunmark 360. It's good to see you again today. My name is Glenn Stacy, and joining me is the Chief Executive Officer for Sunmark Federal Credit Union, Frank DeGraw. And Frank is here because we're kind of excited about this. We have a new segment here on the Sunmark 360 that we're going to start today, and we'll continue off and on, and it's titled Let's Be Frank. And the way Let's Be Frank is going to work is, as I said, Frank DeGraw is here, our CEO, and we're going to give you the opportunity to ask Frank your questions about Sunmark, or really, anything in general that you would like to, kind of pick Frank's mind and see what Frank thinks. So thanks for joining us on the Sunmark 360.
Oh, thank you for inviting me. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, it's good to have you. So since this is our very first episode, we don't have any questions yet that have come in. We do have some from Facebook and Twitter that are kind of the most common questions that we hear about. And then in just a few minutes, we'll tell you how you can ask Frank your questions. So let's start Frank first. And let's start with something that pops up a little bit on Facebook. They want to know how the name Sunmark came to be. Can you share with us how that happened?
Sure, I'd be happy to. As many already know, and if you don't know, we were once a credit union that serviced General Electric employees only. And we felt that there was more of a need to expand our ability to service more individuals in the communities. And so we expanded what we call the charter from just being able to service members from GE to servicing members in 6 different counties that surround Albany. And so we actually didn't know what to call ourselves. We wanted the name to be different than what it was, which was General Electric Turbine Federal Credit Union. So we put the name out to the employees of the credit union and said, what do you think the name should be? And we got several responses. Very interesting. A lot of the names that came up are very interesting. A lot of great ideas. And one of them that came up was Sunmark. And it's an interesting story here because at first, the name Sunmark was just pushed aside. Huh. And it was, okay, that's nice, but there's some other ones maybe we want to look at. But the more we thought about the Sunmark name, the more it came back into the fold. Until eventually we said, you know what, that name makes a lot of sense. It's a name that's very positive. Mm-hmm. Right now our tagline is the bright way to bank. And it reflects, no pun intended, but it reflects, our name with the sun in it. And so we saw a lot of possibilities with that name and said, that's an easy name to remember.
A lot shorter than
the other one. And more generic, than just, than GE Turbine Federal Credit Union.
Yeah.
That's really the history behind it.
And then you also had the expansion, which some other institutions, and you kind of expanded after that. So it kind of left that open to for those expansions, right?
Exactly. After we had changed our name, it did open us up to be able to partner with other credit unions in the area. That became part of Sunmark's family, and that helped as far as with our growth and our ability to serve more individuals in the communities.
Right. Awesome. Well, that's pretty neat, and it's interesting that the idea that the name originally got kind of pushed to the side, but just kept on coming back, and now Sunmark Federal Credit Union is who we are today.
Exactly.
All right. Speaking of that, and we did mention, you mentioned in your answer a little bit of expansion. A lot of great things are happening with Sunmark right now. We built a new branch in Rotterdam that opened just a little over a year ago, and we have one being built as we speak in Delmar. So, can you kind of share a little bit about what's happening in Delmar and any future plans for Sunmark, or what might be happening in the years to come?
Sure, I'd be happy to. One of the things that, I'll put it this way. Our vision is to be the preferred and trusted financial institution that provides value and convenience to our membership. And one of the things that we did was reached out to our membership and said, what brings value to you from Sunmark? How can Sunmark bring more value to you? And the largest response we got was more branches. Because even though 93% of our membership does transact, 93% of our transactions are done electronically.
Wow.
It's still very important for people to be able to have a branch location that is close to them and convenient for them. And I understand that, because not every transaction you're going to have with Sunmark is necessarily a monetary transaction. Mm-hmm. You're going to want to go in and talk to somebody. So we developed a plan to expand our branch footprint in the communities we serve. We did that in Rotterdam, was the first one last year. We opened it at the end of January of last year, and we're pleased to say that that branch has been very successful and very welcome from the community in Rotterdam, which we were very happy about. And now we're building a branch in Delmar. And the question comes up is, well, why a branch in Delmar? What made you want to go to Delmar? For the same reason, because our members asked for it. And so we want to provide to our membership, that convenience and the value that they're asking for, and they frankly deserve. That branch is being built right now. As a matter of fact, I went out there today to take a look at it and see how the construction is coming along, and it's looking really nice and moving along very well.
Awesome, and we look forward to that grand opening in the near future.
In the near future.
That'll be awesome. All right, one more question for you, and this one I guess revolves around banking in general. Mm-hmm. Can you tell us why you think someone should bank with Sunmark, and what kind of sets Sunmark apart from other financial institutions?
Yeah, it's very simple for me why somebody should bank with Sunmark. And the reason is because we treat people as individuals. You're not a number to us, and you're not just a statistic to us. You're an individual to us. And so when you come in, we want you to feel welcomed as an individual. We want you to have an experience that is a pleasant experience doing business with us. And that's what we strive to do, and we hope that that's what you're getting from doing business with Sunmark. Of course, being individuals is that, but also meeting your financial needs, whether it be just simply asking questions and having us provide you answers, or providing financial guidance through our wealth management services, or obtaining property and casualty insurance, getting a mortgage, car loan, and even helping you with your deposit needs, like checking accounts, savings, and deposit needs like that. So the basic reason, I believe, is it's our people that are going to be able to provide you the service that you need in a warm and friendly and welcoming manner, and treat you like individuals.
Awesome. And one more quick question for you. One thing that these new branches have that we have included now in the Sunmark branches are the interactive teller machines. How are those working out?
Yeah, we're really pleased to introduce technology into the areas that we serve, the communities that we serve, that really is not done anywhere else the way we do it with these machines. We introduced those machines, the ITMs, in Rotterdam, and the purpose of them is to be able to allow members and even non-members to do teller transactions themselves. That way it allows them to do any teller transaction that can be done on a teller line 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and 365 days a year. At the same time, we do staff the branches with people that can help with consultative services, but also that are there to help members using the machines and learning about the machines and how to do the transactions. Right. Which we found has been very successful in that manner, because we're not just going to let people go up there and be lost and try to figure out themselves. If we're going to have somebody right there to guide them along for the first few times they use it until they feel comfortable with it and they don't need our help anymore, and then they can do their transactions themselves. We have those machines in Rotterdam, and in Delmar we're also going to be placing those machines. And of course, as we continue to put new branches, build new branches in the communities, the machines are going in those branches as well. Yeah,
and I like the fact that you can choose. If you want to go the quick route and use one of the machines, or if you still feel more comfortable, or you want to have a face-to-face conversation, you can still do that.
You can. Well, what we're finding is that people that are using the machines are liking using the machines better than waiting in line.
Yeah.
Because usually when you're using the machine, you're not having to wait in line. And they like doing the transaction themselves. And the acceptance of those machines, it's amazing. We suspected that people would like it because we see self-service all over the place. You see it in different retail stores, and the self-service machines are always busy. Well, what we found was that people of all ages love to use these machines. Which is really, really nice and refreshing. And it just goes to show you how easy the machines are to use.
Right. Well, awesome. Well, those are some 4 questions from our Facebook and Twitter and a few that we had here around Sunmark. But now it is your turn to Let's Be Frank. If you would like to ask Frank a question and maybe see your question answered on our next episode of Let's Be Frank on the Sunmark 360, you can just email us at the email address right here on your screen. It's letsbefrank@sunmarkfcu.org. Let's Be Frank at sunmarkfcu.org. If you have a question that you would like to have Frank answer, feel free to shoot us an email, and make sure you watch the next episode of the Sunmark 360, and we'll let you know when our next episode of Let's Be Frank will be airing here on our social media pages. So, Frank, thanks for joining us today. We appreciate it.
No,
and get ready for some hard-hitting questions that might be coming your way on the next
forward
episode.
I'm looking forward to them. Thank you.
Let's Be Frank. Thanks for watching the Sunmark 360, and we'll see you next time.